Thank the maker, as C3PO would say. Obviously, we have brand new news today to talk about something very interesting, something very iconic, I would say. Obviously, it has something to do with that first quote that I just told you about. Today, I'm going to talk about Star Wars slash George Lucas slash, I guess, his new museum. Yeah, I guess George Lucas is going to make, or has already made, a brand new museum. So obviously the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art is an upcoming museum founded by filmmaker George Lucas and his wife and businesswoman Melody Hobson. Once completed, the museum will hold all forms of visual storytelling, including paintings, photography, sculptures, illustrations, comic art, performances, and video, I guess, documents. It is under construction in Exposition Park in Los Angeles, California. The museum is expected to open on September 22nd, 2026. The Lucas Museum will house works by artists such as Judy Baker, I think, Ennis Waite, Carrie Mae Wims, Diego Rivera, Norman Rockwell, Frank Frazetta, Ralph McQuarrie, Jacob Lawrence, Kadir Nelson, Paul Cadmus, Jinka Shonibare, and Jack Kirby. Obviously, the last one is well known for Jack Kirby is obviously well known from his Marvel Comics rights. In 2021, the museum announced the acquisition of the archive of materials related to the development and execution of Judy Baska's half-mile-long mural, The History of California, popularly known as the Great Wall of Los Angeles, located in the San Fernando Valley. Also in 2021, the museum acquired Robert Scott's painting George Washington Carver crossing the Delaware River, a page from an American history textbook, a work the former director and CEO Sandy Jackson DeMoss says bridges popular culture and history. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to make sure the Lucas Museum is participating in expanding canon. In 2019, the museum acquired a separate cinema archive, which includes posters, lobby cards, film stills, scripts, and other artifacts that track the history of African American cinema from 1904 to contemporary era. In total, the archive contains about 37 objects. Dorothy Dandridge, Paul Robeson, Duke Ellington, Sidney Poitier, I think, and Josephine Baker are among the stars whose work is documented in the collection. A statement by the museum's former CEO Sandra Jackson DeMoss said the separate cinema archive will not only provide film scholars with incredible opportunities for research, this treasure trove will also catalyze important conversations about inspiring narratives of African American perspectives represented through film. Obviously, the first president of the museum was Don Bacigalupi, I think, former president of Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. He stepped down from this role in early 2019. In October 2019, Sandra Jackson DeMoss was announced as director and CEO. To be known as the Lucas Cultural Arts Museum, it was originally planned for San Francisco on Crissy Field. This version of the museum would have held Lucas's arts collection, which is estimated to be worth approximately $1 billion. Obviously, that's a Austin Powers reference.
Okay, then. We hold the world ransom for $100 billion.
4 years of unsuccessful negotiations with the Presidio Trust over the land in San Francisco, Lucas announced that Chicago would not host the museum instead, due in the interest from the city's mayor, Rahm Emanuel, and the promise of land on the shore of Lake Michigan. The museum would lease the land from the Chicago Park District for $1 a year. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti also made a bid to host the project, offering Lucas land and Expedition Park adjacent to the University of Southern California. Lucas, however, looked to Chicago as a location to build his museum. Youngstown Mayor John McNally had also proposed to Lucas to locate a museum in Youngstown, Ohio, offering donated land in the city's downtown. But obviously, let's see here, criticism also had been leveled against Friends of the Park for its opposition to the project, a project that would have converted a stadium parking lot to cultural attraction along with additional parkland and also directly and indirectly provide millions of dollars annually to host the city. In May 2016, Bill Curtis wrote an op-ed in support of the Lucas Museum, which appeared in the Chicago Tribune. So there we go. Bill Curtis is obviously a retired American television journalist, television producer, narrator, and news anchor. So obviously, Los Angeles site. That's where it is now located. The museum has been under construction for a few years now. It's going to open in 2026, which is really cool. After unsuccessful negotiations in San Francisco and Chicago in June 2016, museum officials announced that they were considering LA. George Lucas announced on January the 10th, 2017, that the museum would be built an exposition park in Los Angeles, California, citing the proximity of University of Southern California, its alma mater, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, BMO Stadium, other museums, and local schools in the South Los Angeles region. Obviously, the building was designed by Ma Yansong of Chinese architecture firm Mad Architects and architects of record Stantic. The museum's nearly 300,000 square foot building will be 5 levels and include 100,000 square feet of dedicated gallery space, a library, dedicated learning studios, 2 theaters, a restaurant, a cafe, and an event space. It will sit on 11 acres of new park space designed by landscape architect firm Studio MLA. Construction prep began in January 2018. Hathaway Dinwiddie is the general contractor. The groundbreaker ceremony took place on March 14, 2018. The museum was originally set to open in 2021, but the opening was pushed to 2023 due to delays associated obviously with the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2022, the opening was pushed again to 2025, and 2025 it was pushed back again further to 2026. So now the official, I guess, website says that it will open in obviously 2026. I'm just going to check. Yeah, there's also a dedicated website to it. So that's Lucas Museum of Narrative Art.org or ORG, obviously. Opening September 22nd, 2026. So that's obviously around 300 days, 8 hours. By the time I'm watching this or making this video, it's around 307 days, 8 hours, 43 minutes, and 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9 seconds. Okay, I can always check this I guess website. From the sculpture architect of Mei Yang-son to Maya Lear's evolving landscape, the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art rises from what was once an asphalt lot to become a place where art, nature, and community meet. I think I've got to admit this, but George Lucas has a mind of its own. Obviously, he's a very cultured man. He loves arts, he loves films and stuff like that. Obviously, lately he once said that he doesn't really care about Star Wars anymore, which is kind of painful, but yes, I get it. It's a film, right? He made that film, he became kind of, well, quite rich from it, and now obviously he makes this museum. I think that's a brilliant way to go forward. Obviously, with tons of money, he has this museum right now, and the museum houses plenty of space for art and culture and nature, and I think that's wonderful. That's truly amazing. I have no comments about it. Obviously, like, people obviously have criticism about it, that obviously the building time takes a long time, and obviously it's slap bang in the middle of the town. Yes, okay, I get it, yeah, fair enough, but still, obviously, it's quite cool that obviously for Americans, because I'm a European, so I can't really go to this museum soonish. So obviously I really want to go if it's opened, obviously, but I think that would be a rather interesting trip. Obviously, I'm also into art and culture, and I really love that George Lucas has something to say about it. So obviously, narrative art tells the story of a society with what the common beliefs are that hold it together. George Lucas, co-founder, said that too. There are Frida Kahlo paintings there too. Obviously, for thousands of years, people have made marks to describe their lives. Charcoal on cave walls, paint on canvas, light capture on film. Artists have depicted our joys, fears, myths, and dreams. They have told our stories. From these timeless impulses and the deeply human need to put our world Into pictures, artists have brought us epics and fables, science fiction sagas, comic strips, and bedtime stories. Murals, sculptures, photography, posters, illustrations, magic lantern slides, animation cells, all are forms of narrative art. Narrative art is central to how we build memory and meaning, construct our myths, religions, and histories. It spans eras, cultures, genres, and art forms. It transcends traditions and time. It includes famous artists and those whose names history did not record. There are on this website obviously plenty of different paintings. I see one from Don Mates, the unsafe footing cover for creepy number 94. It looks like there are tons of them. Obviously Jack Kirby will also obviously will be in here. We have Kadir Nelson, Black Gothic, cover of Ebony 2016, oil on linen. Damn, obviously the original artworks from Lucas's Star Wars saga, made by Dong Cheng. Pod race crash, obviously. I think that they're very, very interesting to look at. And obviously it also delves into African American culture and history, and I think that's wonderful. Obviously guided by founders George Lucas and Melody Hobson. Obviously Melody Hobson is from African American descent, or I guess is from America, I suppose. If I say something offensive, that's not my intention, obviously. The Lucas Museum reflects their shared vision of an institution dedicated to the power of storytelling through images. George Lucas's lifelong passion for collecting began when he bought his first artwork in college, an illustration of Alley-Oop, the time-traveling caveman. Together, Lucas and Hobson have since built and supported a collection that ranges from illustrators such as Norman Rockwell, Jesse Wilcox Smith, Maxfield Parrish, and N.C. Waite, to comic artists like Winsor McKay, Frank Frazetta, George Herriman, Jack Kirby, and Robert Crumb. The collection also embraces modern and contemporary artists including Frida Kahlo, Jacob Lawrence, Charles White, Utagawa Kuniyoshi, Robert Colescott, and muralists such as Judith F. Baca and Diego Rivera. In addition to its art collection, the museum houses extensive film archives, including the complete Lucas archives from 1971 to 2012, the original Lucasfilm materials retained by George Lucas after the company's sale, reflecting its dedication to storytelling in every medium. Fair enough. That's really, really cool. So there are obviously also obviously Star Wars wise raised. There are obviously paintings or the original sketches. There are actually drawn sketches of Star Wars. There's also going to be objects from the films, like a full-size Naboo starfighter with General Grievous and his his round circular vehicle from the third film. So yeah, there are actually tons of really cool objects, paintings, art in this museum, or obviously will be housed in this museum. I think that's so brilliant. It's marvelous to look at, obviously, and I love art. So this was just something that I really want to talk about. It's more like culturally, I guess, significant. It's not really something that I would make necessarily, but I just love the arts and the way people do something with art and culture, and that this is a fantastic opportunity for obviously to tell the tale of George Lucas and his museum. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Goodbye, everyone.